Hey, so right now you've got 32 minutes. The Dow is red, the SPY is red, and the Q's red. But today is by far the most bullish day of the entire year. You want to know why? Because underneath the surface, everything is ripping. Every stock that sold off for the last month and a half, which found some love the last couple of days, today you're having a follow through. And if you're trading the same stocks that we're trading, and I hope you are, they're having some of their best days, not just of the week, the month, of the year. So the Rigatonis, RGTI, the USARs, some of the nuclear names. Obviously, I could go on and on and on about the list of stocks here, but what I'm really good at, and the reason I love being bearish, and we had this conversation earlier, right, is that I understand when stocks stop going down. The shorts who become complacent are waiting for the next rollover. But if we Andy Dufresne and then we come out of the Andy Dufresne, the shorts are in trouble. And that's what you got over the last couple of days. So we have the earnings plays that are working every time. And today we, you know, well, I say I got out early as I normally do. Some of these stocks went a lot higher. I didn't think Rigatoni was going to hit 30. I thought 27.50 was inevitable, but 27.50 broke and you went to 30. USAR, I thought you'd get at least 15, but you broke 15. You went to 17 and a half. I didn't think those days were going to come back immediately where you just keep breaking through strike prices and go to the next strike price. I thought for a second maybe they leave some on the table for tomorrow, but they're getting it all out today. The shorts are getting annihilated. And then, of course, you got this open trade. How much do you love this trade? Not to own. Inevitably, it's going to be at zero. But every time the stock goes down, it hasn't had 3 down days. I don't remember. But if you get a couple of down days on the stock and then it turns and then you get VWAP. But let's talk about something completely different. Let's talk about SMX for a second. And the reason that people love these trades. Everybody who's been a trader for the last 5 or 10 years or whatever, how many times, we've all seen some crazy stock, right, that has gone parabolic, right? And we all say, oh, really, I wish I was in that one, right? These are the reasons, and this is how they get these stocks to run. So here's SMX. Anybody know what it is? No. SMX SEC matters. I don't know if it's a real company or not. But you go back, look at a 3-year chart. What's that look like? Exactly. It looks like UVXY. Why does it look like that? Because if you liked it at 56,166,849,000,000, you got to love it down here at $3. No, that's not why it's going up. The reason it's going up is that the game is, and this has been going on forever, the 2025, it's like every day. You take a stock that is a penny stock and you do a reverse split. That reverse split takes stock out of liquidity. Then you reverse split it again. Takes less liquidity and it takes more liquidity out of the name. Then, and again, let me just show you what this is looking at. This is a yearly chart. You still can't really appreciate it here. You start to appreciate it over the last couple of days, but right, just like the market, in the wonderful market that never goes down anymore, right? So look at the I can't even. I got to zoom in a little bit further just so you could see it. Stock was $3 the other day, right? $3. $3. You get what I'm saying here, friends? $3. No one's looking at the stock, but they do a reverse stock split. So they did a 250-to-1 reverse stock split. And then just for more fun, they did another 1 for 5. Then they get some buying going. So now they've taken the liquidity out of the name and they concoct or they create the short squeeze. Then psychos like us, we see this thing. Oh, what's that? Whoa, oh my God, if it breaks this price, it's going to go here. If it's going to break here, it's going to go here. And then everybody starts to buy it and the volume starts to explode, right? Here's the level 2 on this thing. You're talking about 2-point spreads. A very dangerous stock to trade up here at 165, but that's what we said at 80. But once it broke 80, 80 gets you 120, and it went to 120. And then it got hammered, and you're thinking it's over, but then it broke 120. So as long as it keeps powering higher with momentum, the shorts are forced to cover. Psychos that keep buying the stock because we keep seeing this happen. And everybody wants to be part of the next one. And then the fear of missing out kicks in, and you get a stock that just broke 80 that's tacking on 80 more points. And inevitably, what's crazy about it is this stock will be at zero inevitably. Someone is going to lose their house. Somebody's going to lose a lot of money on this name. Not me. Not us, because we trade with discipline. But this is the type of stock that when you see the PLRZs, right, that's why people go after these stocks. And you got to keep an eye on this PLRZ because it woke up again. You never know. This could be the next one. Reverse stock split, catalyst, short squeeze. The GameStop saga, the GameStop moment that this market had was nothing special. That stuff's been going on forever. It was newsworthy because a hedge fund tried to get in the way of the squeeze and got killed. And fuck them. Fuck that hedge fund. There should be more hedge funds blowing up because they don't hedge. The whole hedge fund industry is a joke. They don't even do what they say they're doing. They're basically called select funds. They don't hedge. Anyway, but let me just show you what happened about 20 minutes ago. So the market, right? When I say how the market doesn't go down, right? Look what happens every time it goes down, right? So we had this attack about an hour ago, and it broke the new low. And what did that do? Went right back up. So it's virtually impossible if you're trading with discipline to stay short. And that's why the mantra is the market never goes down. Obviously, with 24 minutes left to go, the market's down today. But if you're trading USAR, you don't care. If you're trading rigatoni, you don't care. You're trading CoreWeave, you don't care. By the way, do you notice they're all the same chart? Because they're part of an algorithm, right? You're trading Gemi today, finally part of the algo, you don't care, right? That's it. It is just absolutely incredible. You just pick your spots, stay disciplined, use proper stops, risk reward, and you can make money as a trader. You don't have to know what's going to happen tomorrow because nobody does. I'll go out on a limb and say a year from now the market will probably be higher. Who cares? None of that stuff that people talk about as far as the market's concerned matters. Jobs reports, interest rates, earnings, president, economics. The market's going to do exactly what it's going to do, no matter what all those narratives are. None of it matters. But what if they don't cut interest rates? Nobody's going to care about a half an hour after they make the announcement. Nobody cares. And not for nothing, they should be raising interest rates because as far as I'm concerned, right, if we're really going to talk economics, right, why do you lower interest rates? To stimulate an economy. But the economy, as we're being told, is booming. So why are they lowering interest rates? It's not a good look right now. Something's off. Why are they lowering interest rates? And if you said, oh, to help the mortgages, no, it's not how it works. Interest rates are not tied to the Fed funds rate. They're tied to the Treasury bills, which when they cut interest rates, the Treasury bills went up and mortgage rates went up. So that premise has been debunked. So as I sit here for another 10 years doing this, we are finally at that point where you must realize that whatever you think matters and whatever you think you know and whatever you think is going to happen, it's irrelevant. If you're going to trade, there's only one way to do it. Trade what you see based on algorithmic price points and try not to get in the way when the market starts to squeeze, because this Dollar Tree or Dollar General, I'm still it was 5 hours ago or 6 hours ago. I'm still in shock, because if I don't use the mantra of the market never goes down, look at this trade. I was short because it did what I want to see a stock do. I'm looking to short the stock that was gapped up. So it rallied first, blow off top, VWAP break. I'm a shorter. And it goes back to the lows of the day. And as I'm saying, all right, guys, we got to start covering this, because when stocks go back to price points where something happened, you have to do something. And we start to cover right here. And then it starts to rally. And then it broke back above the price where it broke down from. So I covered the rest. And then it went back to VWAP. And I said, hey, guys, you know what that is, right? That's a faux show. We might as well buy the stock now. But imagine for a second that when I say VWAP saved my life and the market never goes down, this is that example that I'm trying to express to you. I understand the market can go down every once in a while, but this trade continues to happen on most trades. So if you're going to trade the markets, you have to understand that shorting is short-lived and you're going to die, and the market never goes down. Stocks don't even go down. Nothing goes down. And when they do, it's most of the time temporary. So if you want to be delusional about that notion, then you're going to lose, because there's no way. Okay, so you're short. You want to believe Dollar General is going to break down. Well, now it's not breaking down. So the delusional trader who says, no, this market's going to roll over, it's going to go down, I'm going to stay short. So you just watch the stock rally from where we covered it at 116 up close to 10 points. So as you've just lost, well, you took your winning trade and turned it into a disaster. Does that ever resonate where you say, oh, maybe I should not stay short because the market never goes down? Right. And if you need the validation or the confirmation of the premise that the market never goes down, VWAP. And if you think the Q's being down 2 points today is a sell-off, no. What today is a gentle rotation. They are using the Qs as a little ATM. People are cashing out of the Qs and buying the shitty stocks that all turn today. It's called rotation in a bull market that never ends. But if you want to hang tonight, we're schmoozing. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the fundamentals, all those stuff, all that, I only care about this much. If you'd like to know the rest, we have a really special guest on today with a Discord room. He's an analyst. His friends are analysts. And these are the analysts that don't post. These are the analysts that are getting paid to their information. You won't see Joe Schmo recommended USAR with a price target of a neutral rating with a slightly upgrade and all that bullshit that they say. These are real analysts that work for private hedge funds that if you don't know them, then you don't know them. This guy knows them, and he takes their information, puts it on a Discord channel. So if you're into that stuff, it's fascinating to learn a little bit about what you're buying, who's buying it. And again, if you are an investor, which I'm not, again, I still think you can invest based on just charting. I don't need to know what these companies do. You know if a stock's going up or down, right? But for real investing, you should know. I mean, that's kind of what investing is supposed to be. You learn about what a company does that makes sense to you. You're not really caring about the charts. You're buying it the premise that this is going to go higher because of what they do. And again, you'll probably be right because, oh, wait, right, because the market never goes down. So that's the thing about the bull market. It makes everybody seem like they know what they're doing. That's why I kind of like sideways, choppy, and bearish markets. It weeds out the people that don't know what they're doing. Anyway, email me. My name is Kenny Glick. My email address is kennyglick@aol.com. We're schmoozing tonight. 6 o'clock music, 8 o'clock. We'll do some crunching the charts. About 8:30 a guest. 10 o'clock back to the music. We'll got our DJ and we'll dance the night away. See ya.